What is going on, people? Welcome to the Midwest Mike Sports Show. I'm your host, Mike Klean, and I am joined here by the one, the only Midwest Mike. What's going on, buddy?
Not too much, man. What's going on with you?
I had personally my first small down day in the NBA since All-Star break. We had just a very minor negative night officially, but with the unofficial parlays, kind of even or a little bit of plus.
Yeah,
But I'm looking
yeah.
forward to tonight, man. The NBA slate was a little kook yesterday. Feel like I forced a play or two personally, but I'm liking today's spots in the NBA. So, and I'm really loving all
Nice.
your spots that you got on the card.
Yeah. Yeah, I got 5 college basketball plays. I like all of them. If
Mm-hmm.
it was a shorter slate day and these games were spread out in different days, they'd probably be 3 unit plays, but just playing them all for 2 units. Kind of like Sunday. I liked a lot of spots. We had 1 3 unit play and all the rest 2 units and a couple of 1 units, and we had a 17 unit day with it.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have to have big plays all the time to make money, to make units. So
No.
uh yeah, I put in NHL POD last night. We already got 35 cents in value on that.
Love it.
I knew that was gonna happen, so that's
Mm-hmm.
good. Got an NBA POD, a 5 unit parlay of the day, and then a bunch of 2 unit plays and a half-unit NBA prop. So
I
should be a
like
good
that
day.
NBA prop. I like that one.
You like that one?
You're starting to dabble a little bit in the NBA props. I'm liking it.
Well, yeah, I mean, we could talk about it. It's just Chris Paul over 8.5 assists.
Yeah,
KD making his debut tonight. Um, Paul should have plenty of opportunities to feed Durant and
sure.
Booker. 8.5. I like it. So
Now, do you think that KD? I mean, we saw him just completely slot in with the Warriors. It was very cohesive. Do you think he's just going to slot right in Phoenix, just like he did in Golden State, and they're just going to go off and running? Or do you think throwing not a ball stopper, because Durant's not a ball stopper, but he is a ball dominant player. He needs it in his hands to score. Is it going to mess up the gel in that offense? What do you think?
no, I think they'll mesh pretty good because I think KD just wants to win. He's not that guy that has to. I want the ball. I need to score 40 points a night because I'm the
Right.
shit. He's not that kind of guy. So he'll fit in, and if Booker's open, he's gonna pass. He'll pass up the shot and pass it to Booker, and you know what I
Right.
mean. So he's not. If it was anybody else, yeah, I think it'd take some time. But I think Durant, no, I think he'll be. You can just slide him in there, and um, I think it'll be pretty efficient right off the bat. I don't see there being a big break-in period, if you will. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
just because all he cares about is winning, and that's why he went to Phoenix. He wants to win a championship. Uh, Chris Paul obviously wants to win. I mean,
Hmm.
all these guys should be on the same page. If anyone has an issue with anything, I could see it be Aiton. Um, I don't know what
He
to
already
make of
had an
that guy.
issue. He already had an
Yeah,
issue before the season started.
I just, yeah, he might be the one that might actually get hurt the most out of this. We'll see.
Hmm.
But he already got paid, so I don't know.
Right.
Which, speaking of, what the fuck is going on with Andrew Wiggins, and why is nobody fucking talking about this shit? I'm not kidding. He missed so many fucking games to start the season, and then he
Hmm.
was gone with his non-COVID illness that he milked for like 2 fucking weeks. And now he was supposed to be out just for the Valentine's Day game against the Clippers for a family matter. Guys,
Hmm.
I don't give a shit if somebody dies in the family. It just happened with Ovechkin. He flew to fucking Russia and came back in a week's time or whatever. You know what I mean? We
Right.
all have shit happen, and I don't even know what it is. No, he hasn't said anything. Nobody said anything. Even if it was
Right.
a death, what are you gone? Max a week, maybe 10 days. Like, the
Hmm.
guy's been gone for 3 fucking weeks after not playing at all at the beginning of the season, then missing 2 weeks for a fucking illness that he fucking milked. I'm losing respect for this fucking guy. He signs a big contract. And when you sign a contract like that, and especially with your team in that 6-7 seed, wherever you're at now after last night's game,
Right.
and needing to win with Curry out, and you're pulling this shit for fucking 3 weeks now. I'm sorry, but I don't have fucking respect for you. Seriously.
Right.
You're
No, I
you
get it,
don't
man.
work at Subway and the family needs help taking care of grandma, moving her into a nursing home, and you need 3 weeks off to do that. You're fucking Andrew Wiggins. You're a fucking millionaire. This is what the team paid you for, especially when you're already down Curry, and now you're just taking 3 weeks off, and you already had a week off for the All-Star break. You should have just handled it all fucking over that, not even missed any
Right.
fucking time.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, but it pisses me off.
Maybe they're hiding something. Maybe they're hiding maybe a minor surgery. Maybe he's hurt. I mean, it has to be okay with the organization. The fact that it's not being talked about. We are
Yeah,
seeing the
but they're
Warriors
not going
kind
to
of.
talk about it anyways, though, even
No,
if it
I
was
know,
something.
but I mean, they're kind of skating by. I mean, they had a big comeback for us last night.
Biggest of the
And
season, 23
biggest of the
points.
season. And the game before that, they came back against the Wolves on Sunday. They were down, I believe it was 9 or 10 with a couple minutes to
9.
go in the
Yeah.
fourth. So, I mean, they are kind of skating by. We've talked about it on the show multiple times on how he is just turned into a real game changer for this Golden State team. Defensively, he's gotten better offensively. I don't know, man, but they are a different team when he's in there. I do enjoy, me and you, we root for the Warriors. We love watching them. I do enjoy seeing these other players kind of getting a bigger role now, because they are going to need them to come playoff time, and who knows on the health of everybody come that time. But he's got to get back in there, man, and soon, because they could skate.
It's just such a clutch time for the team, and to be pulling this shit. It's not like you've played every game up till then, then I'd give you a little bit of a break. But when you miss so much time because of injuries, and then you milk a fucking illness for 2-3 weeks, and now I need 2-3. I mean, who knows? It could be gone for a month for some family issues.
Yeah.
Fucking pull your head out of your ass, dude. Seriously.
Right. I mean, there's some narratives.
What you're getting paid. No, that's fucking
inexcusable. Well, this is what happens. They get their contract, and then, their personal lives take over, and I get it.
I know, but I'm losing respect for the guy, honestly, personally. I don't have respect. I don't give a shit if somebody died. Okay, you got 10 days, maybe 2 weeks tops. I don't care. If I had somebody die in the family and I was working 2 weeks off, even in a real fucking job, much less being in the NBA. So cut the prima donna bullshit out. You got fucking paid. Live up to it now and fucking play. It's just like the load. It's just like the load management shit. You know what I mean?
You're right. No, don't get me started on that. But I'm going to clip that little bite, and we're going to post that on socials and see how people react to this.
Yeah, but nobody's talking about it, and it's fucking bullshit.
I agree, man. I agree. And there's some narratives. On the Golden State Warriors that Draymond's kind of, lost the locker room a bit after punching Poole. You can't believe all these different narratives and stuff like that. But, they are moseying
Curry will
around.
be back in a week, and then I'm sure Wiggins will come back. Just surprise, I'm back, guys.
Sure.
Fucking.
Maybe he'll come back healthy. He was dealing with something. I can't remember what it was, but I don't know. We'll see. They're still winning games.
Tampons. You ran out of tampons. They weren't big enough.
We got Matt in the house. What up, Matt?
What's going on, brother?
Good to see you in here. Lucas. What up, Luke?
PIMP.
Yes, sir. OKC game under or OKC plus 3.5.
They're minus 3.5 or -4 now, not plus. But
yeah.
I honestly like the Thunder when it was 1.5, 1.5 before the Lakers ruled everybody out.
It's 4.5 now.
Yeah, so I like the Thunder even before the injuries. So
right.
I think SGA is still out, but
I haven't seen anything new on him this morning.
Yeah, I would assume he's still out, but I don't care. The team plays tough. They have something to play for. Unfortunately, they didn't make enough stops yesterday. It just says, who knows? Maybe he does return tonight. Right now, it just says out against the Kings, but we'll see. But regardless of that, I like the Thunder. They're the best against the spread team in the NBA. the Lakers down their main three guys. I mean, I don't know. It seems kind of like LA's just kind of. And if you're AD, what the fuck are you doing? You already lost LeBron. You're trying to make a playoff push, and now you're sitting out. Like, come on. I don't know.
Well, we know
I'm
his.
not sold on this whole fucking all these trades and the Lakers are back and gonna make this fucking run and shit. I'm not sold on it, man. I'm not.
I think I am. I think with LeBron now, without LeBron, I don't know because I've questioned AD's motives for years now. He got his ring in the bubble, and he seems very content with it. So, I've questioned his
I think he
motives
needs to
out there.
go. They need to get something for him and move
I
on.
just think I don't even know if a change of scenery is going to help him or anything like that. I just think it's one of
No,
these
not for
things.
him. For the Lakers,
Right. Yeah, I mean, try and get something for him while he's at least on the court. I mean, they can't now, but maybe in the offseason, who knows? LeBron probably won't let it happen, but they do have a tough stretch of games coming up. They have the T-Wolves, which, can play him tough. He could have a tough matchup with Rudy. Warriors, Grizzlies, Raptors, Knicks, Pellies.
tough
I mean, it's
games, man.
a tough little stretch for him. And then the Rockets, I mean, they should blow by them, but then they got the Mavs, Suns in there, Bulls a couple times, which, they could play him tough.
Yeah,
But
It's
you
a
never
tough
know. I mean,
schedule.
they do have a tough month coming up. So if, they don't care about this game, I could see AD just sitting down and, maybe the new guys
But why
get
wouldn't
in.
you care? This is the two teams that are neck and neck with each other at that spot. Like, and you can take advantage without SGA. AD should be licking his chops to fucking try to get this dub tonight. It's a
Well,
big game.
it is a big game, and the NBA that we all know and love, the Lakers probably win. You know what I mean? It's just like that. It's these injury games that are kooky. They're weird. They've been weird all year. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's just who knows? Who knows? We got a parlay being thrown in. Pelicans for the upset. Under OKC Lakers, Northwestern, Campbell, and the Stars puck line. Any thoughts? What is the
Um,
odds on that? That seems like it's plus
well, 1,
2,000,
2,
man.
3, 4, 5, 6, 10, about 40 to 1, maybe.
Oh boy.
100 to win, probably 3,500 if I had to
Yeah.
guess, 35 to 1. The Lakers over under. I mean, it's at 227 now. I don't know. I have no thoughts on the over under. Kind of like the over before all the injuries and stuff, but now and it's moved and all that stuff. That would be a pass for me.
Right.
The Pelicans, I bet on them the other night. They played like shit. Personally, I can't touch them right now. I would love to in this spot. I mean, Portland's banged up. They just played last night. Pelicans also got some injuries. Richardson's questionable. Valanciunas is questionable. Larry Nance is out. Jose Alvarado's out. This is a tough one, man. It's a stay away for me. I've been picking and choosing my spots with the Pelicans. We've hit a couple of them, but this last one kind of pissed me off. I mean,
Right.
McCollum shot 1 for 9, 1 for 8, or 1 for 9 from deep on Saturday against the Knicks. I thought he'd have a good bounce back game, and he pulled the same shit the other night at home.
Yeah.
These guys just don't look good at all.
They don't.
Stupid passes, turnovers, just the dumbest shit that drives you nuts when you're watching it. I can't back them right now. I'm not saying to bet Portland. Just not a couple spots that personally I'm looking at.
Yeah. No, I get it, man. The only thing that intrigues me on this game is that it's been a tough little travel situation for Portland. They were at home for a while. Let's see here. They were at home for a bit, then went on the road.
They've been at home a lot. Like since
That's what I mean.
December, January,
Yes.
they've been made like 12 out of 17 games or something are at home.
Right. So they've been home, and then they went on the road.
And now they're back home. and
on
then
the
go back
road.
on the road.
Right now, they're back home for one of those one-away spots, and then they go back on the road for a monster. Looks like a 2-week trip, realistically.
Yeah.
So I could see the Pelicans shocking the world here. I'd be interested to know where the money's coming in. But I could see the Pelicans taking care of business. Last game they played, I know the Pelicans have looked bad. I mean, everything you said
And
is
they've been
100%
worse on the
correct.
road too.
I know.
80% on Portland, and then 76% of the money on the money lines on the Pelicans. So
okay.
people are taking the Pelicans on the money line and Portland spread, which is weird considering one's a dog and one's a favorite. But
Right. Yeah, I mean, the line says it's going to be a close game. Last game they played on what was it here?
it's two shit teams that you don't know what to expect. So line it at a pick 'em and see who the fuck wins. I mean, that's the way I
Legit.
look at it.
Legit. I mean, if you want to look, I mean, we can't even really look at line functionality too much. Their first game was in November
They
10th.
both had so many injuries and shit
Right.
too. This game, these guys played. This game, these guys didn't. It's tough, you know.
It is tough. I mean, the Pellies were -9.5 in November, and they
Well,
got
they're
beat.
hot then. They
Right, but
started out one of the hottest teams in the NBA.
they got beat outright, 106-95. Wish I could have hit that plus money line spot on the Trailblazers there. Yeah, it's a tough game. If I had to play it, gun to the head, I would play the Pelicans, and I would just watch the game as my heart races and probably my eyes bleed out. You know, that's just what I would do. I'd have to. I don't like that travel spot. I don't like those one-aways, and it's just me personally. But if you guys have any other games you want to throw in here, NCAA, NHL, throw them in the chat. Let's talk this Cleveland Celtics game a bit. Can we talk that one, Mikey?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk this one. Celtics looking at -5. They were -6.5 last night. You told me before we hopped on this show that the Cavs are taking the money.
Yeah, it's like 50% tickets and 84% of the money.
Cleveland has won both of the matchups. So this is a double revenge spot for the Celtics here. And on Monday, I had said that I like the Knicks, and I did personally bet the Knicks, and they did take care of business. They beat the Celtics by 15. I said it's a potential look-ahead spot to the Cavs with a double revenge in mind, and that's exactly what happened. I like the Celtics, and I like them with everything I got tonight. I think they're going to show them who's boss. The Cleveland Cavaliers have not played that great as of late. They're not a good road team. They're way better at home than they are on the road. All the money coming in on the Cavs. Keep it coming. I love it. And I think the Celtics turn up a bit here. I think they do. They've had a little trouble covering spots, if I'm not mistaken, as of late. So I like it, and I'm not afraid to lay the 5, and I hope it gets to 4.5. I don't know if we'll see it, but I like the Celtics.
Well, I mean, they should win the game. I think this is more just about a potential playoff preview and showing, kids on the playground and showing them who's boss in the East. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Expect the Celtics to take care of business. Double revenge angle is nice and stuff too, but the Cavs are one of the. I mean, they're not the Bucks or the Celtics, but they're probably top 4 in the East, I'd say. With the Sixers. So it's punch you in the mouth, and I'm going to show you, who runs the East. And I don't see the Cavs beating them 3 straight here. So
absolutely, I could not agree more. And also, last thing on that one, just like how we were talking about the Trailblazers, this is a one-away spot for the Cavs. They're at home, went on the road, then they go back home for 2. So this is a one-away, and I like the Celtics, and I like them a lot.
On the Celtics, I think their last game was that the Sixers game, or the Knicks game?
The Knicks,
game.
yeah.
On Monday, yeah.
Yep.
So good bounce back spot there too.
I
So
love it. I think it just all lines up just absolutely beautifully. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. We got a couple questions in here. So is there any other NBA you wanted to touch on, Mike, or anybody else in the chat? We do have some plays posted in the portal on some games that we can't touch on.
I
think
mean,
that's
Durant's making his return. You got
yeah.
Phoenix and Charlotte. The spread's 10. If you're on your earlier, I got a half unit prop on Paul assists over 8.5.
Mm-hmm.
Got that. We talked about the Thunder Lakers. I mean, you got the Bulls and Pistons, the Knicks and Brooklyn, Memphis,
Mm-hmm.
Houston, the Sixers, and the Heat, and then you got the Magic and the Bucks. The
Mm-hmm.
Magic and Bucks game, we talked a little bit about that before the show. We might disagree a little bit on that, but
Mm-hmm.
the Bucks. I mean, yeah, I could see the Magic covering, but personally, I see the Bucks winning the game. I think their franchise record for wins in a row is 19. They're at 15 right now,
Sure.
so I know you can say Orlando gets up for these games and all that, and Bucks on a back to back, but the reality is they've won 15 straight. They were down big yesterday, came back, won the game.
Right.
And I watched that Orlando and who was Orlando's last game? Because I had the other team.
They played the Pelicans. That was the game we were
Yeah,
just
that was the
talking about.
Pelicans game. Magic didn't even look that good versus the Pelicans. The
No.
Pelicans just played like shit. So
Yep.
yeah, Orlando won as a 5-point dog and whatever, but this is the Bucks.
Right.
They don't do the stupid shit the Pelicans were doing. It's also another road spot for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like again, I don't care about the 7.5 point spread. I'm just saying I think the Bucks will win the game. I mean, they got it. They're a few games off from setting a franchise record. So there's still motivation there. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Just for the East with the Celtics, and also to you got a chance to set a franchise record. So
Right.
why not?
Yeah, when we first came on the show, I actually missed that point, and you told me about it, which is kind of keeping me maybe second guessing that. But I did like the Magic on the spread there, only because it is a back to back for the Bucks. They were down in that game, and they did come back and they climbed. And
Not only did they come back, but they covered by 3 times the spread. So
yeah, insane. And on Saturday, ABC game. Now I know it's a couple days off there, but ABC game on Saturday against the 76ers. Potential look ahead if they're not super motivated to get that record. And realistically, like you said, they don't have to cover the spread. They just have to win. If I had to do it gun to the head, I would take the 7.5 on the Magic. I would. It would be a dare I say. If I pull the trigger, it will be a dare I say. We got Darian in here. What up, Darian? How
what's
we
going
doing,
on,
buddy?
brother?
Good to see you. Good to see you. Ryan, you're late for class. That's all right.
Need a note.
All right.
Need a note.
Yeah, you need a note. Right. Xavier. Any thoughts on Xavier, Mike?
Not really. I haven't really looked at this. Oh, hold on. SGA listed out. That just came through.
All right.
So now that is
See where that line
official.
goes.
Yeah. The Xavier Providence game. Let's see if the splits changed at all. These are two teams. I'll be honest with you. I haven't bet on either one of these teams much. Haven't seen a ton of their games. Watch a lot of Big 12 this year, but I've seen probably 2 or 3. Well, 3 that I'd say maybe 5 games each of these two teams. Let's see. I mean, Providence is getting pretty much all the money on the spread and the money line. I think it's still the same at 3.5. Let me check one other thing, which tells me if the spread's not moving at all, it's staying at 3.5 with 90% on the money line and 75% on the spread, and it's not moving at all. If I had to bet it, I'd probably take the points. but Providence is 15-0 at home. I'm sure that's why they're also getting a lot of money, though, too. The whole narrative with that. But 3.5 in a tight game like this doesn't sound like it, but it's a lot of points.
Sure.
We see games all the time settled by 1, 2, 3 points. So you're getting 3 and the hook.
Mhm.
I mean, Fremantle, obviously still out, leading rebounder. They also, it's just a stay away game for me. I know Xavier's got a few injuries besides Fremantle as well. I think they got a guard out. Their last road games, I mean, they beat Seton Hall, and then they lost to Marquette by 1. They lost to Butler by 2 as a 7-point favorite. They lost to Creighton by 17 as a 5.5-point dog. They beat UConn before that. They lost to DePaul before that. Xavier hasn't been great on the road. I just don't like the 75% money spread, 90% on money line. The line's not doing nothing. So it's just a stay away game for me, honestly. So I wish I could say this way or that way, but for me, I wouldn't take either side. So
yeah. Well, speaking of a game that had all of the money on one side and the line just did absolutely nothing, was definitely a collect data spot for me last night was the Clippers. I mean, they were being hammered, and they ended up losing outright to the damn Wolves, man.
I thought the Wolves were getting the money in that.
Were they?
Mm-hmm.
When I checked, it was all coming in on the Clippers. I could be wrong. Well, it all depends on what resource you got. It all depends on
Well,
what
it ended
resource you
at
got.
60-40, 60 on the Clippers.
Okay. Money line, I think, was all Clippers, though, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. But this line did nothing. So kind of weird. Okay, here we go. Oh, we got my buddy Matty Zeman in the house. What up, Matt? Good to see you here.
Austin, the Avalanche. Devils are a really good road team. I'm not sure the exact record off the top of my head. I think it's like 21-4-3 or some shit like that. I actually have a free play on the under on this game, under 6. I got it under 6 minus 115. It moved to like even money. And the reason for that, and now it's back, I think, to minus 115 the last time I checked. The reason for that, the Avs have a couple back to backs here coming up. So they are starting Justice Anunin, who's made one start for the Avs. He's 1-0. He allowed 1 goal on 20 shots versus the Blues. They won 4-1 that game. But I like the under here personally. Both these teams have been playing unbelievable defense lately. Let me pull it up here. Both defenses on their A game. The Devils have allowed just 24 shots per game and 2.4 goals per game over their last 5. The Devils' penalty kill has only allowed 1 goal over their last 5 games, but their power play has also just converted 2 out of 13 in their last 13 power plays. So they're killing penalties. They're not taking advantage of the power play, which is obviously good for the under. The Avs have allowed just 1.6 goals per game over their last 5 games. And besides that, overall at home this season, they allow just 2.7 at home. The Avs penalty kills allowed only 2 goals in the last 15 power plays. Devils won the first one in October, 1-0. There's some strong trends too. The unders 13-3-2 in the last 18 meetings between these two teams in Colorado. It's 21-7-3 in the last 31 meetings overall. The Avs are 7-1 in their last 8. Devils are 4-1 in their last 5. Both teams have been winning games with defense. And I think we see a low-scoring game tonight. I wouldn't be surprised to see a 2-1, 3-1, type game like that, maybe 3-2. But I do like the under here. Hopefully, worst case scenario, it ends at a 4-2 type game and we push. But I just don't see 7 goals being scored here tonight. Both these teams, like I said, have been winning games with defense. That being said, the side, like you're asking on the Avs, I don't know. It's riskier because you got a goalie making his second start in the NHL. You could say you should be motivated to try to, do good to get more playing time in the NHL and stuff, but we have a very small sample size with him. I mean, he's 1-0. He stopped 19 out of 20 shots versus a shitty team like the Blues.
Right.
Facing the Devils, who are really good on the road. Again, I don't know the exact record, but it's something like 21-4-3 or something on the road. The side's tough. And that's why I like the under. I just see both teams playing defenses. I see it being a low scoring game. Won't be surprised to see an overtime type game. So, with a 3-2 or 2-1 type final. So I'm on the under 6 for 2 units. So if you're VIP and you're like, hey, he posted at minus 115 and then it was even money, what the hell's going on? That's what was going on. But I did saw after that it went back down, and it's still at minus 115 right now in my book. So the same line. And the over is getting, or it was getting, majority of the money. Let me see now. I think since that goalie change too, there's actually more money coming in on the over now. Yeah.
Sure.
And the line's still juiced at 115 to the under. So I like that too. 61% of tickets, 74% of the money's on the over. And that under went back to being juiced, minus 115. So I like seeing that. A lot of the over money came in after, he was expected to start now being confirmed in net. I think you'll see a lot of public square bettors that just see that and they're like, oh, this guy making his second start, the Devils are going to fucking roast him. The Avs can score, blah, blah, blah. But they don't look at the data and see how great both defenses have been playing lately. And this should be a defensive slugfest. So
love it.
The side, man, it's tough. I can tell you the Devils are getting 45% tickets, 60% money. So I don't know. The spread is pretty 50-50. The side's a tough one. And I think they're both around minus 110. Avs minus 115, Devils 105. To me, if I was to bet a side, it's tough. I mean, I don't see any value on the side. I just see value on the total personally. But that's all you. Just know, though, that the Devils are one of the best road teams in the NHL. So, but both have been playing really good hockey lately. So it's a tough one. But you got to keep in mind the Avs starting that goalie for his second career start. So if that changes your opinion at all, if you knew that or not, I don't know. But.
Yep. So there you have it, folks. Under 6, minus 115. 2 units. That's today's free play. And video has been posted all over socials. So please go give it a like and comment on TikTok. It really helps us out. Views have been up and interaction has been up. It's awesome. Thank you guys very much for that. Let's keep that rolling. And Mikey will keep dishing winners for you guys.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're let's see here. We are free plays have been hot, guys. 27, 12, and 3, 69% in the last 42 free plays. We're 16, 6, and 2, 73% on 24 2-unit free plays this year. And we're 14, 6, and 1, 70% in the last 21 free plays. So if you can definitely like, comment, appreciate that. Corey, you got a good question on the Maryland game. I do have a play on this. I will talk about it. I got a huge card today, so I'm not afraid to give you an extra play for being on the show. Appreciate it. Yeah, the spread opened at 2. It actually, Maryland got all the money initially, and it reversed. And now Ohio State's getting 55% of the tickets and 80% of the money on the spread. And on the money line, they're also getting majority of the money on the money line as well. It is a weird spread, but I don't know if you know this, but Maryland is 1-6 straight up on the road in conference play, with their only win coming to Minnesota. Maryland is night and day difference home and away. Look it up if you don't believe me. They're 1-6 on the road in conference play. And Ohio State is not as bad as its record suggests. I was pissed at myself for not playing them their last game versus Illinois. I kind of liked it, but they've just been so bad. They burned me once or twice that I didn't play it. Should have. They're coming off. They have all the momentum they've had in the last 20 games because they haven't won a game until their last one against Illinois. So they got a ton of momentum. It's their last. I'm on Ohio State +2 -120. They got a ton of momentum. They just coming off a big win versus Illinois at home. Their record isn't as bad as it suggests. They're not a good team by any means, but they're still top 20 offensively in efficiency. Still, and this was a Ken Pom team that was top 20 team in the country at one point this year. So, and Ken Pom has them as the most unlucky team in the country. And what I mean by that is they've lost a ton of close games. They lost to Purdue by 2, Penn State by 4, Northwestern by 6, Wisconsin by 5, Nebraska by 3, Rutgers by 4, Minnesota by 3, Maryland by 7, UNC by 5. They have a ton of games that could have gone either way at the end, and they've been really, really unlucky. I remember the one I was on them. It was like tie game, their ball with like 10 seconds left, and they inbound the ball and it gets stolen and they lose the game. I mean, just dumb, stupid shit. So yeah, the facts of the matter are they're the unluckiest team in the country. They were a top 20 team at one time. They still have a top 20 offense. It's the final game of the home season. I'd expect a max effort here from Ohio State. They're coming off a big win versus Illinois, but I don't consider that like a letdown spot here, nothing like that, because it's their only win in how many games.
Right.
Maryland beat them by 7 in the first matchup, and Maryland had 14 more free throw attempts. So I wouldn't expect Maryland to have 14 more free throw attempts tonight. That one was also in College Park. You got the revenge spot. Maryland's been completely different team on the road. They just suck on the road. And Ohio State has momentum for the first time in a long time, and I think it makes them a dangerous home dog here tonight. And a lot of the big sharp money's on Ohio State as well. I mean, when you got around 50% tickets, 85% money, that's a big discrepancy in tickets and money. So that tells you a lot of the big money is on Ohio State here. And wouldn't be surprised, maybe even it moves to a pick 'em. It might hang there at the 1 and might close at that. We'll see. But yeah, it's a sketchy line for a reason, and I like it. So Ohio State, I bought the half-point hook just because there's been so many games decided by 2-3 points, that kind of shit with this team. That if it does go down to the wire, and I've lost a lot of games, not in the past few days, but before that by a half point, 1 point, that kind of shit. So that's why I bought the hook personally, got the +2 home team with a basket. Why not? And yeah, I like it a lot. So
love it. Any thoughts on Penn State over 133.5, Maryland over 135.5, and Houston over 132.5? Any thoughts?
I can pull them up. I haven't really looked at the totals on these. Let's see. I got the Maryland shit pulled up here. The Maryland, the under is getting pounded. The under has 19% tickets and 94% of the money, a 75% discrepancy in tickets and money. And that opened at 137. It's at 135. So just off the cuff, if I was to bet an over-under on the Maryland-Ohio State game, I would probably go with the big money there and just take the under. But I haven't dug into it, obviously, that's just gun to the head in 30 seconds. What are you going to take? That's what I would take. What's the other ones? The Penn State. Yeah, I think that's a lower one too. 133.5. Northwestern at home. Penn State on the road. Again, off the top of my head, probably under. I mean, Penn State on the road, hostile environment. Northwestern's good. Their defense, obviously, really good. Penn State lives and dies by the 3 ball. So I think that total will really depend on them and how they shoot from deep. If they shoot well from deep, probably go over. But I wouldn't bet that on happening. I don't know what to make on the side on this game. Personally, not on it. Not going to touch it. 4.5. And it opened at 3. It's at 4.5 now. 4.5 is a lot of points. But like I say, Penn State lives and dies by the 3 ball, and if the threes aren't falling, Northwestern they'll cover the spread.
Sure.
And then I think it'll likely go under too. So, and the home team also more likely to control pace of play and all that stuff too. Easier for home teams to do that. So,
right.
Probably a couple unders there. The Sam Houston one. Sam Houston's not a team I'm very familiar with at all, but I can tell you what the accurate splits are here on it for you. Looks like it opened at 134. It's at 133, 133 and a half now. Under's got 83% tickets, 91% of the money. I have absolutely no feel on the total. I do have a play on the side on that one. So I got to play on the side. But
there we go. What do you think of the Leafs, all the trades?
Yeah, one of the teams, though, I'm more excited about is the Rangers. I mean, they added Tarasenko. They added Kane now.
My boy.
I think they're going to be a tough out. That's for sure. The Leafs, we'll see. We'll see what they do here in the postseason this year.
Yep.
It seems like every year people get hyped on them,
And
they let everyone down every year, kind of like the Oilers. So,
yeah,
I mean, yeah, they're making moves. It's good to see. They've been playing pretty consistent. Hopefully the goaltending holds up and they can do something this year. But me personally, I'm more excited about the moves the Rangers made. I think they're going to have a better shot at doing something probably than the Leafs, but
sure,
you never know.
Well, ton of pressure on that locker room now in New York. Ton of pressure because they sold the future for right now. Realistically, I don't know about Tarasenko. I don't know his contract situation. I'm assuming it's expiring, just like Patrick Kane. But who knows if Patrick Kane stays? Who knows? And what kind of deal is he going to take? So it might be just a rent a player thing with him. I did talk about it on Monday's show, but I did lock in the Rangers to win the Stanley Cup plus 1,000. I got it in right before they took it down, actually, right as they announced the Kane trade, went right in, placed it because, Patrick Kane is, if anybody's following the Blackhawks in that whole trade, he has been teetering the entire season on what he wanted to do. So there was really no guarantee mentally what he was thinking, even though he was being sad. I mean, it was kind of done, but you never know. So I waited, locked it in at plus 1,000 for them to win it. And now it's plus 800. So got some extra cents there.
The thing the Leafs have going for them is that they're in the West versus the East. So it should be an easier. They actually just got Lafferty and McCabe from the Blackhawks as well. So the Blackhawks have straight fire sale, getting rid of everyone, complete rebuild. So
they needed it.
The Leafs took advantage, and it'll be fun. I mean, yeah, the Leafs are a great team. They should do a lot here in the postseason. Expectations are high, like they always are. Just hopefully, I don't know yet. They just got a couple more pieces. I think they'll be making their debut tonight. Give it a few games here, just like the Rangers. Give it a few games here and be easier. But I still think Boston's the team to beat, man. I really do.
They've been machines all year.
That defense, the goaltending, their offense. I mean, did that one game? Did they end up winning last night? But the game before that, I think it was it Seattle? Seattle would score, and then they'd answer right away. Seattle would score, go up again. Yeah. They'd answer right away. It's just okay, we need a goal. Okay, coach, give me 2 minutes. I'll have one for you. And they tie the shit up. Yeah, it's fucking nuts.
Legit. They did win. They won last night 4-3 in overtime.
See, they pulled it, and that was a back-to-back spot, another road game, and they pulled it out again.
Just machines, man. They've been machines all
I was
year.
pissed the night before that I didn't take them, and then laid off them again tonight. At this point, you just have to bet, especially when you can get a money line at minus 130. You just got to take them every fucking game.
130 or below, just take it. Yeah.
Pretty much.
At this point, man. At this
point.
Why not? Do you think that the Pens will make any moves at the deadline?
Coming up. I'm not. Yeah, When is the deadline?
The 3rd, I believe. Believe it's Friday.
Friday.
I don't know what time.
Gotcha.
I don't know what
I
time.
don't. The Pens are just. I don't know, man.
I don't
I
know.
don't know. They need they need their goaltending. Jari. They need him to stay healthy. DeSmith hasn't been that great while he's been out hurt and stuff.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest impacts he can have on that team is him healthy right now and playing consistently because DeSmith did not do that good of a job filling in. But I don't know. The Pens to me are they've been a big letdown. They're kind of a mess, I think. I don't know what they need, but
Yeah.
if it's coaching
From
or
what
what.
from the limited amount that I've seen and watched them, mostly just on our spots and just checking scores or whatever, they seem to they're a good hockey team, but they seem to be a little inconsistent. So
Yeah,
that's just kind of.
and that's why I like the Bruins. There's no more consistent team. I know they're the favorite to win. I don't have a futures or anything like that, but the Avs though, what are the new odds? Are the Rangers second or the Avs still second?
So let's check it out. I have it pulled up right here because I wanted to check on the Rangers. We got the Avalanche at 650. Bruins at 450. Those are
You
the
can
top
still get 450 on them, huh?
on the Bruins. Yeah. Who would be next? There's a couple 800s. You got the Rangers in there. You got the Hurricanes. You have the Leafs at 850. And then
The
everybody
Hurricanes are
else
a
is
team
above.
that if the Bruins weren't doing what they were doing, everyone would be talking about the Hurricanes. They're kind of quietly very underrated.
That's scary sometimes.
Yeah, they're a really good hockey team. That's probably not bad odds on them either.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean it's got to be Canes, Rangers, Leafs, Bruins, Avs. One of those teams has to win it. You'd think. We all know the Oilers and Flames aren't doing shit. Oilers especially.
Oilers can't hold a lead, man. They can't hold a lead. They can't win playoff games. It's a
Flames might
joke.
not even make the playoffs, but the Oilers are just
They can't.
their
They
goaltending,
just.
man.
They can't.
Their
It's been year
defense
after
is just
year.
pathetic. Just pathetic.
It's year after year, a letdown, just like the Leafs, man. You want to think, oh, this is going to be the year, and it just seems to never ever come. Any good websites for trends and stats?
Just depends on the sport and what you're trying to look at, honestly. There's probably 15, 20 different websites I look at for different shit.
Right.
You can just Google NHL goalie confirmations. Probably one of the first things that'll pop up is the RotoWire. That'll give you goalie confirmations. You can click on the goalies. You can see all their stats, trends. It really just depends on what sport. There's Baseball Savant for MLB. There's what's the one? Oh, I can't think of it. There's a really good one for MLB that gives you the expected ERAs and all that shit that I talk about a lot in MLB with pitching. There's a team rankings website that's decent for
that one's good.
College basketball and NBA and NFL. Just those three sports, no other sports. I think it's Fangraphs for MLB is really good, especially pitching and that kind of stuff. But it all just depends on the sport. There's different websites for different sports. So.
Yep, absolutely, man. Okay, Blackhawks or Canucks? You think they're keeping it close tonight?
The Blackhawks. I think we're gonna see them. I mean, they were playing good and stuff. I had the Coyotes in a parlay yesterday. Even liked them on the puck line, and of course they just waxed the shit out of them. I don't think the Blackhawks play tonight though.
Blackhawks play tomorrow.
They played the Stars tomorrow.
Yes, they play tomorrow, and the Canucks play tomorrow as well.
Yeah,
they're not on tonight's slate.
Yeah, the Wild and Canucks tomorrow, and the Blackhawks and Stars tomorrow. Which I think that star spot is a revenge spot. Yeah, because Chicago just beat them 4-3 at the very end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, they came back in that spot.
Yeah. But Dallas has been bad lately. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're 1-6 in their last 7. So,
yeah.
But I couldn't bet the Hawks tomorrow night. I think they're going to start losing some games here and start going in tank mode. I mean, they just lost to 2 of the worst teams in hockey, the Ducks and the Coyotes, and scored 3 total goals in both games and gave up 8. So the fire sale happened. They lost 3 big key guys. They're more or less an AHL roster now, and just kind of putting guys out there and see what they got, see who's going to make the team, who's not, and kind of just trying to figure shit out now for the rest of the way and draft and all that shit. So
yeah, big draft coming up.
I think they had their little mini run, and now they're gonna start tanking.
I mean, they did it at a perfect time because they were trying to sell Kane because his stock was declining massively after the trades were getting done in the league. And they went on a little run, and Kane showed his value again. And I believe that second round pick for what the Blackhawks got for Patrick Kane could actually turn into a first round pick at a later draft if they make the conference finals. I think that was the stipulation in that deal. So rooting for that. I mean, obviously already rooting for Patrick Kane, favorite player, best American hockey player ever. But that'll be good for the Blackhawks if they can get that done. Okay, kind of backtracking here. Can we talk about the Heat, Mike? Heat 76ers?
No, can't talk about that one.
Can't talk about that one. Matty Z hit me up after the show.
Why buy the half point hook? Kind of talked about it, but they've just played, especially in college basketball. Ohio State's just played so many close games. I mean, so many games have been decided by 5 or less points. They've had the Purdue game was a 2-point game. And I'm just weird about getting the opening line. So if I can pay an extra 10 cents juice, it's at 1 now. So I pretty much paid 10 cents to get it at 2 versus waiting and getting it at 1. You know what I mean? So, but 10 cents, it gives me a full basket. So I got the dog with the full basket. And if you're VIP, you'd probably understand here over the last couple of weeks I had Tulsa plus 1.5. I think they lost by 2. I've had some other games, Fresno plus 3, they lost by 4. So usually those hook spots buy the extra half, get the hook. And a lot of times it can, obviously if I'm betting Ohio State plus 2, I'm expecting them to win outright or win B on them. But that basket, that extra point does come in handy at times and can be the difference between winning, losing, pushing, that kind of stuff. So it's just, they're a team that's played so many close games that if it is decided by a basket or tied at the end, it's one of those games you're going to want that extra half point hook. So,
Yep. It all depends on the situation. What's going on there. Okay, I think that pretty much concludes today's show. I don't see any more questions in here, and we went over a good amount of games today. I'm happy that we were able to break some down.
Like the card a lot. Got a 3-unit NHL play of the day, a 3-unit NBA play of the day that got that. I think 5 2-unit college basketball spots, a 5-unit parlay of the day that we're risking like 1.6 or 1.8 units. It's a low risk. And when I put those out, guys, just because it's a 5-unit play doesn't mean like there's a reason I'm not putting my 3-unit plays of the day in it and stuff like that. It's, if I was, because if we lose that 3-unit play of the day, this is what I was telling somebody on Chalkboard last night too, is there's strategy with it all. I'm not putting those teams in it because if one of those loses, then we'd lose the play of the day and lose the 5-unit parlay. The whole strategy with it is, okay, maybe we lose a 3-unit play of the day, but we don't have it in the 5-unit parlay. We hit that. That makes up for that. You know what I'm saying? It's all about exposure, and all that stuff. So there's a reason. And we've been hitting a lot more of these than we haven't. We dropped our first one in the last 4 or 5 the other
Yep.
night, and we're typically risking 1.8 to 2 units to win 5. So as long as you win every 2 or 3, you'll be making money. And yeah, tonight's is, I think it's plus 302 odds, risking like 1.8. But when I'm putting these out there, we can't expect to hit them every single day, every single night. I'm not going to have them every night. You know, I'll have a few a week just when there's money line spots and stuff that I like. But
Sure.
but yeah, that's why I don't put my 3U POD in there or the 3-unit NBA POD. You know, hopefully it's a day like well, I mean, I take Saturday I did, but that's because I just love those college basketball spots. But normally I don't. Like I think Sunday we had a huge day because we hit our 3-unit, we hit a bunch of 2 units, and we hit the 5U parlay, and that's how we put together a 17-unit day. But it's all about exposure, not putting all your eggs in one basket and relying on, you know, 1 or 2 games to live and die by. So if you do drop a play, that can pick it up, or maybe we lose that, but hit the PODs or whatever. At the end of the day, yeah, I have 10 plays. I'm not expecting to hit them all. I want to hit as many as I can, but that's the whole plan, is to win more than you lose, hit a higher percentage of the bigger unit plays. And ultimately it's all about just finishing up units at the end of the day. Like today, I don't honestly care what plays I hit. I just care about making money. Maybe we lose both PODs and hit everything else. Great. You know, finish up X amount of units. At the end of the day, that's all that matters if you're trusting the process and playing the system like that. So,
yep. Gotta throw this one in here because
Lucas, I heard about that a while ago. I just got a notification too from it, or maybe this might actually be separate, because I think the one that I from a while ago was at his own home on his own home basketball court. He punched a teen who was at his house playing a game of pickup basketball. So this one must be different, unless if it happened at his home. I haven't read it yet. It's the same thing. But I can't stand the fucking guy, man. I can't stand him. Him and Dylan Brooks I actually hate Dylan Brooks worse than John Morant.
Yeah.
But they're my top 2 guys that I hate the most in the NBA. I just hate the fucking Grizzlies, period. I like Tyus, Minnesota kid, but
I like Jaren Jackson. If I had to extract one guy, I like Jaren.
Bane's okay. I don't mind Bane.
I'm not big on the Grizzlies either, but he's all right. But Jaren, I think is actually.
You see Brooks' Stone Cold outfit yesterday?
Yeah. It kept me off Memphis full game.
They covered.
I know they did, but it kept me off full game. I hit the first quarter, and was it Lukey Kennard hit a 3 right at the buzzer for me to cover? But yeah, Memphis they're interesting bunch.
John Morant talks so much shit, acts like he's the fucking greatest of all time. All he does is drive to the basket and gets the fucking call every time and hits free throws. His jump shot's gotten a little bit better now, but for a while he couldn't even hit a fucking jump shot, couldn't shoot threes. Literally, that's his whole game, is just driving. And in the NBA, you get those calls every fucking time. You know what I mean? That's his whole game. But he's done nothing. He talks so much shit, hasn't done shit in the playoffs. Until you do something, shut the fuck up, be humble, play your game, and prove it with that. Prove by beating the Warriors in the fucking playoffs. Prove it that way. Then talk your shit. Don't be talking shit and fucking lose. And you beat the Wolves, who blew fucking 4 straight 30-point leads or whatever the fuck it was. Yeah. If it wasn't the Wolves, you wouldn't even gone past the fucking first round. Seriously. The Wolves pissed that away. They should have beat the Grizzlies. Seriously.
They beat themselves.
Yeah. So, as far as I'm concerned, the Warriors and John Morant haven't done shit. I think they're overrated. I think them and the Kings are probably the 2 most overrated fucking teams in the NBA right now. And I've been on the Kings a lot, but the Kings do not have a defense. The Kings are great at beating up bad teams. Kings against the spread against bad teams, take them most of the time. They cover. Kings against good teams, they lose. They don't cover. They don't have any fucking defense at all. Their whole game is score more points than the other team, and hopefully we fucking win. That's their whole game. And I think they got a rematch against the Clippers
They
coming
do.
up here.
Interesting to
Friday?
see.
Is it Friday?
Yes, it is.
I'm excited for
No,
that one.
yeah, Friday,
Because
and it's going to be
we were on the Clippers and they blew that big lead, 14-point lead with 3 minutes to go.
right, one of the highest scoring games ever. It will be interesting to see how the Clippers attack these next two games. Since Westbrook's been there, they've lost every game. And it's going to be interesting to see how they maneuver these next 2 days because they have the Warriors tomorrow. And then back to back, now they got a revenge on the Kings. Interesting. With their load management.
They trust me, and you'll notice this with the Clippers. Fourth quarter, they blow shit. They blow shit in the fourth quarter.
All year.
They're maybe even a better first half team probably than a full game because they blow it in the fourth quarter. They shouldn't have lost that Kings game. There's no excuse to be up 14, 3 minutes to go. Paul George at the end always just fucking has 5 turnovers, doesn't know what the fuck to do with the ball, throws shit away. Fucking terrible. But they shouldn't have lost that one, and they also had no business even forcing overtime against Denver, but they did. So they shouldn't have lost the one. They shouldn't have had a chance in the other one. But I heard Charles Barkley the other day. I know I put this in the chat, I think on Monday, him saying he thinks the Clippers, who was it? Clippers, Suns, and Bucks are the top 3 teams in the NBA. The Clippers. The fuck is that dude smoking, dude? Clippers over the Celtics?
You're right.
Are you kidding
Well,
me?
I mean, on paper, they make a whole hell of a lot of sense, the Clippers. But can they perform? Can they lock down?
The thing about it be interesting about the Celtics is their head coach in come playoff time, coaching against other good coaches. That's what I've heard that shit now on 3 different shows over the last few days. And it'll be interesting to see how good of a coach he really is, because me or you could go to Boston right now and they'd probably win a lot of games with us coaching. You know what I mean?
Realistically.
But when you're in a game 7 series and it's game 7 and you're going up against one of the best coaches of all time,
Right.
are you going to win that game? You know what I mean? Are you going to outcoach the other coach? That's that. Anyway, I've talked about that. I've talked about that in football. We've gone against bad coaching, especially in primetime games on short weeks, the Thursday night football games against shit coaches. Coaching makes a big fucking difference, and it's really underrated in handicapping, I think. People don't look at that shit. And for football, it's fucking huge to me.
I feel like even this year and maybe last year as well, I wasn't paying as much attention to it last year, but I know specifically this year, every time, almost every single time you said we're betting on the better coach, you would tell me personally, we're betting on the better coach here. A lot of times in your write-ups as well. I mean, we hit those. So,
yeah,
they really did come into play.
Rookie
and
coaches
now,
on a short week,
right,
have
it's a
3 days
lot
to
of new
prepare for
coaches.
a Thursday.
Right.
No shot.
Yeah.
Night.
Night. Absolutely,
night.
Man.
Do the old Russ, the little baby rock.
Steph Curry.
He did that shit the other night. I'm like, oh my God, dude. What are you doing, man?
It's going to be interesting to see what the Clippers do, man. I mean, Russell Westbrook doesn't seem like he's, going to be able to do anything good anymore on a basketball court unless he's just this guy that can
like that
chuck it up.
man.
Well,
and I
think
liked
PG
Reggie.
wanted him. PG wanted him. Their time in OKC together.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kawhi's still one of the. I mean, his performance against the Kings. I don't know if I've ever seen a more efficient player play basketball than in that
some
game.
Of those shots contested,
turnaround, 3, step right up. I mean, I know Kawhi is a great basketball player, but his 3-point shooting since being kind of injured and kind of moseying around has really, really picked up. I mean, it's unbelievable. And, because of him, I could see why Barkley said that. I could see why he said that because he is such a gamer in clutch moments. I mean, he won a ring.
I think he likes Russ too.
I know. I mean, somebody's got to go to bat for the poor guy. But you know what? You know what the thing about Russ is, and this is the last thing, because we always focus on him and we always go off on him. He has his confidence shooting the basketball, rightfully so, but his confidence shooting the basketball is so bad that he literally passes up wide open mid-range, wide open threes because he's been told pretty much to not shoot the ball anymore. And it's stopping the offense. There's no flow when he's out there because he's got a wide open shot, and you'll see him pump fake and then drive and then turn the ball over with some stupid pass. It's just there's no flow when he's out there because mentally, I don't think he's there anymore. Or the coaching staff and the organization has said, here, you're going to drive the ball and you're going to kick. You're going to play good defense whenever you can, whenever you want to. And, you're going to make some highlight reels. I mean, other than that, I don't know what the guy can do anymore. It's a shame. It's really a shame.
Yeah. Who's the big white guy that they got, though?
Zubats.
No, the backup that played really well that Denver game.
I
mean, he's single-handedly why they went to overtime. What's his name?
Yeah.
Mason Plumlee.
Plumlee, yeah.
They got him. They got Bones Highland. Did they add Gordon? I mean, they got some other pieces. It's just, I think
I like me some Bones. I like me some Terrence Mann. Marcus Morris, I like him. Norman Powell, I love him.
They're deep.
Batum has been unbelievable shooting the basketball. I mean, even Covington really hasn't had much run this year, but Covington's a hell of a ball player too. He's kind of left to die on the bench, but I like me some Robert Cove.
But they needed that depth at center, adding Plumlee, because with just Z, yeah.
I'm not a big Z guy. I don't think he's.
I like Plumlee better.
I do too. I think push comes to shove, you're going to have probably Plumlee out there, or maybe small lineup run Morris out there. At least he can shoot. I don't know. Interesting. But that concludes today's show, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want today's massive card and a profitable one at that, let's just manifest that right away. Hop over to MidwestMikeSports.com. Link right there. Let's have a day. As always, invest wisely and let's live freely.